So with that, we'll move to our next speaker, Prashansa Kulshetra. She is currently working as a software engineer in the Server Foundation team at Postman and has hands-on experience with AWS and Kubernetes. She is Red Hat certified specialist in OpenShift administrative and Ansible automation. She is Red Hat certified engineer as well. She has recently graduated from UPES Dehradun and is specialized in cloud computing and virtualization technology. And she holds immense interest in native domain. So with that, I would like to hand over to Prashansa. Prashansa, am I audible?
Yeah, thank you, Savita.
Thanks, Prashansa.
Okay, so is my screen visible? Is the presentation visible?
Yes, it is.
And are these other screens visible too?
Yes, Prashansa.
Okay, thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Prashansa Kulshrestha, and today I want to share the knowledge I gained while working with Istio. So yes, let's begin this presentation titled Building Microservices on Kubernetes Using Envoy Proxy and Istio. So this is a brief about myself. I'm currently working in Server Foundation team at Postman. I guess rest was already covered by Savita, so let's just begin with the presentation. This is a brief agenda which I'm going to cover today. So let's begin with what exactly microservices are. So any complex application, any large application can be simplified by breaking it down into multiple small services. And there are certain qualities which these small services should have, such as they should be loosely coupled, independently deployable, and these services are usually owned by a small team, usually called squads. So, and these all these services should be testable and maintainable without any dependency with other services, without any hard code dependency basically. So your one big application breaks into many small chunks. So the best and the easiest example I find to understand microservices is this book application thing. So here, as you can see, that there are 4 services. The first one is product, then there is reviews, ratings, details. All of these are made in different languages. They may have different APIs exposed so that the communication can be enabled. So here, if you see the mappings on the slide, it seems fairly simple. The architecture seems as if, yeah, it's just straightforward. But if you think a bit deeper and go inside it, you'll find a few points which need more thinking. Like one service here, reviews, has multiple versions, and each service may have multiple replicas running as well. So now my review service, which has 3 versions, uh, may have their own replicas too. So this makes the architecture a bit more complex. But still, it is messy, but still manageable. But now imagine that you have another different set of requirements, like you want that the incoming traffic should be load balanced, or you want that all the inter-service communication should be secure and encrypted. So now for each service, you'll have to manage and store a set of keys and certificates. Suppose you want to enable logging and metrics, so each request should now be logged, and the stats should go to some other metric server such as Prometheus or anything. So as you dig deeper and optimize and add more functionality, so even this small map of services will have a lot of things to handle, and it will become messy. And if we need to manage a plethora of microservices, if we have a fairly complex application which is divided into microservices, things would become worse. And if any of this communication line breaks, it would be very difficult for us to debug what the problem is. It would be even difficult to isolate the source of the problem. So whenever we have such complex network architecture, whenever we have such requirements where we want many additional things like load balancing, like failovers or anything, we want some easy way or some tool which should make all this easy to manage, which should make our architecture transparent. And this is where service mesh comes into the picture. And you will find multiple definitions of service mesh on various different websites and various sources. But what I find the most appropriate and what I have analyzed according to my experiences, then service mesh is an abstracted infrastructure layer which has a few qualities like application awareness. A service mesh always knows that what application it is managing, like not exactly the core functionality of the application, but all the components of the application, whatever pods are there, it knows about it. It is highly configurable. It gives as minimal latency as possible. So you cannot expect zero latency. So since a new component will be introduced with service mesh, there will be a new connection coming up and it will give some latency. It will be not much, like 1 to 2 milliseconds, but some latency will be there. And it is designed to facilitate inter-service communication, and it gives a transparent network architecture. So there are multiple tools which facilitate the service mesh technology. So HashiCorp, Consul, Linkerd, Istio are some of them. These are the popular ones. And in this presentation, I'm going to focus on Istio. So basically, Istio is an open source tool for implementing a manageable service mesh. It is maintained and it was developed at Red Hat. It uses sidecar proxies, which are actually Envoy containers. It has a dedicated control plane, and all the traffic goes through the data plane. So it's kind of divided into two planes. So I guess for just the first introduction, whatever, if someone is kind of getting to know about Istio for the first time, I guess hearing all this at once will be a bit confusing. It will be a bit confusing for me as well. So what I'm going to do to make all this simpler is that I'll explain whatever the highlighted and bold parts are in much more detail to make it easier. So let's go ahead. So first thing we had was sidecar proxies. So what exactly are sidecars and why do we need them? If you see the diagram which is given on the slide, then you'll understand that sidecar is just another container residing in the pod with your application pod. So your application pod will have all the core functionality which you code so that your application starts running. And the sidecar is just one additional container which takes care of some trivial tasks. It can be logging or any configuration management or anything like reporting to some other service, like giving some sort of heartbeat message, something like that. So why do we need such sidecar containers? So that we can keep our logic and application completely separate and we manage all these trivial tasks separately. And in our case with Istio, this sidecars are actually proxies. They are network proxies which help us to keep all the network configuration at one place, completely separate from our primary application code. So in case we want to change anything in the network architecture, if we want to change any policy, if suppose I am using round robin load balancing policy, and in future I decide that I should just move to weighted policy, then I need not change anything in my application. I'll just have to change something in my sidecar container proxy so that everything is reflected back. So there's completely no dependency on the application to your sidecar container here in Istio. So that's why we have sidecars. And since they take care of your networking part, they are called sidecar proxies basically. So what exactly are these sidecar containers? They are Envoy containers, Envoy instances, and the proxy which is behind them is the Envoy proxy, which is the mastermind of everything behind Istio. In one talk earlier, maybe in OSConf Bangalore, I discussed about Envoy proxy with Ambassador at EdgeTech. So Envoy is like one tool, you can say, one framework, you can say an open source edge proxy over which multiple tools have been built so that it is easy to consume. So when the Envoy creators started working on this project, their main aim was that the network should be as transparent as possible. Every time an application developer, a software developer tries to debug any sort of network failure or any sort of configuration management thing, it is like a waste of time, because that is some sort of ops work, and if anything goes wrong and you have to debug it again and again or frequently, then that's not good. And we need some sort of control to have all this thing. We need a transparent mechanism, a manageable configurable mechanism, and that is where Envoy helps us. So it is like a layer 7 proxy, and it acts as a communication bus which takes your messages from one place to another. Like one service to another, and it is mainly designed for the service oriented architectures. And with the current digital era where like all of the companies are trying to break their monolithic side and go to the microservice architecture, envoy proxy is something which is rapidly being adopted, and tools like Istio make this easier. So basically these envoy sidecar containers, they all form the data plane, and all the traffic which comes into a Kubernetes cluster which hits our service is a part of the data plane. And the other things which this data plane does is it will collect the telemetry data, like the latency and the throughput, like how much time did your service take to respond. All those things will be taken care of by the data plane itself. And another plane which comes into the picture is the control plane, which is the mastermind, which is the central component where you can configure anything in Istio and it will propagate everything to the sidecar proxies. And now suppose you have n number of application namespaces, n number of application pods, and you decide to change something in your network architecture, change some policy, then it is not like that you'll have to change it in every pod one by one. You can just do it in one place in the central control plane, and everything will be propagated back. So that's why this is important. It acts as one main area. And all the features which Istio grants us is we are able to get that using this control plane. For example, it automatically load balances all the incoming traffic, and then we get a lot of traffic management features such as retries, failovers, fault injection. All these things are needed in production environment, in testing environments, to try out different scenarios and see which is the most optimal technique for hosting our infrastructure. It also provides many ways to have our routing rules. It even gives us options to have separate policies on incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. So basically we have two different gateways for this, dedicated gateways, ingress and egress gateways. So you can have separate kind of function calls when some traffic comes in, and separate things when traffic goes out of your pod. And then if you want that your whole service to service communication remains encrypted, then you want that the communication should be secure, then Istio also allows mutual TLS. So it has a separate service, dedicated Citadel service, which is a part of control plane, which takes care of the certificate generation, management, rotation, and storage securely inside your cluster, so that MTLS can be enabled in one go. So in fact, things like access controls, rate limits, resource quotas, all these can also be effectively done using the control plane. And the feature which I strongly like about Istio is that it comes packaged or shipped with some tools which are essential for us when we are trying to debug certain things, like distributed tracing. For distributed tracing, Istio comes with Jaeger and Zipkin installed, like in the demo, like I'll tell you in the later demos, that if you want that Jaeger should be a part of your cluster, then you need not do anything fancy to enable all that stuff. Istio will help you do that. It has already a profile managed for it. If you want the metrics should be there in a Prometheus server, then yes, that is also there. If you want the metrics to go from Prometheus to Grafana, yes, that is also there. So basically any kind of requirement which generally comes up for us in production environments comes along with Istio and is easily configurable. You can even customize it according to your own needs. And we will see all these things much more in detail when we come to the demo section. So whatever I just told right now can be visualized from this image. This is the basic Istio architecture. As you can see, this is here we have a service pod where the service and the proxy are completely separate containers. The traffic is flowing only through the data plane, which comprises of the sidecar proxies. The control plane is completely separate and comprises of three main services: Pilot, Citadel, and Gale. So Pilot is responsible for the main networking policy section. Citadel is the one which is responsible for certificate management, as I told you, for MTLS purposes. So with this, let's go ahead with some demo. Let's see whatever we have learned till now, how that goes into practically. So I'm going to use the same application which I just told about, the book info application. I'm going to show this thing with Istio. Okay. So in order to start using Istio, you'll have to download the binaries and this whole thing, the steps which I have just written, these are present in Istio documentation as well. You can refer from there. But just for simplicity, I have derailed down what the steps would be. You'll fetch the binary from this particular site. It will fetch the latest binary. And I guess the latest stable version is 1.6.7. I'm using 1.6.0 for now. And just export the path of the binary so that you can use the istio-cutl tool. So istio-cutl is basically a command line tool to manage istio service, to manage istio control plane. And it is like kubectl you have for Kubernetes control, istio-cutl is for istio control. And when you get the istio-cutl in your system, when you have the path set and you have downloaded the binary, you can install istio on your cluster. So istio has this concept of profiles, and whatever sort of configuration you want your istio control plane to have, that is controlled by profiles. So here, whenever you download this thing, you'll get this complete folder which will have this manifest and profile section. You will have a lot of sample services to try on. So first of all, let's just begin with this profile. So you have this demo profile where you get to see a lot of features which Istio provides. With simple resource request. So you will have the ingress and egress gateways, you will have Jaeger, Grafana and everything. And even you can customize from here, like it allows a great lot of customization. So this is the default profile. Default profile comes with as minimal configuration as possible. And it is kind of one place where you can get all sorts of references when you try to make your own profile. And making your own profile is also very easy, like, because here all the things are completely relatable. It's simple YAML format, and it's all written very normally. Like Prometheus, you need to enable it, so true. And Prometheus by default is always enabled because Istio ships all your metrics to Prometheus. Kya, lead, Grafana, everything. I have disabled a few things over here in in default. These are disabled, but I can then override this default using the demo policy. So default is kind of the main policy which will always be there, and you can overwrite it by creating your own policies. And if you do not want to make a completely different profile, if you want that I'll just write one YAML file which will be of type Istio operator, I'll make this sort of CRD and make my own configurations, then that is also possible. So in that case, you don't like here when I use this command, I used istio-cutl install set profile demo. Instead of that, you can just have istio-cutl install -f and whatever the profile name you give. So it will just configure all your data. So here, if you see, I'm going to show you how Istio system components look like. So I'm running Istio in a local kind cluster. So if you want to try out and install Istio in kind, you'll have to enable a few port mappings, extra port mappings. So yes, so these are all my Istio system components. As you can see, there's ingress gateway, there's egress gateway. This is where you can define whatever rules you want for the incoming traffic. Istio-D is the main component here. Earlier, before I guess 1.5, Istio had different control plane components, but now they have combined everything into this one single service called Istio-D. And then you have Jaeger collector, Jaeger agent, everything. So suppose you want that your traces should be like, suppose I hit a request, it went from service A to service B, and you want to see all the traces, you want to see the data, like how much time it took in service A, how much time it took in service B, you want to see the traces, the distributed tracing framework. So you need not do anything fancy, you need not enable anything fancy inside your application code, or you not do anything. You just have to write tracing, Jaeger enabled. That's it, and it will give you the Jaeger framework by itself. So these are a few things, and now let me show you the book info application which was created. So this is also available in the samples Istio samples thing, samples, and then you have book info, and then inside Cube you'll get this book info.yaml, which will give a detail of all the things need to do. So if you have ever containerized any application code, then it is completely similar. Like, you need not do anything special for having Istio. The main YAML file remains same, the code remains same. All the change which needs to be done is that you just have to label your namespace by this thing. So whenever you apply this label on your namespace, which is going to have your application Istio injection enabled, what it will do is, as soon as your deployment starts, it will inject one sidecar proxy, envoy proxy container inside your pod. So it is the same concept of admission controllers. This is an admission controller which runs. So about admission controllers, it was already explained in the previous talk. So this label will trigger that admission controller, and your application will have the sidecar containers inside them. So everything just remains same if you have ever deployed in any application. So yeah, there's nothing different. If you can see the deployment, if I let you see the deployment file, so the same things, the containers, the image policy, port, nothing is different. You just deploy it and you'll get your application. So here, if we see, I have kept it inside a namespace called book info application. So here you'll see for the pod details, there are 2 containers inside. 2 of 2 are ready and they are inside the pod. So the second container is the one which has our Istio proxy. So if you'll see in the deployment of reviews, I have just one container named reviews, which has this particular image, examples info reviews. And if I describe the reviews pod, this was reviews version 1. So I'm describing reviews version 1. And when you will see the containers, it will show you 2 containers. So this is the first container, reviews, and this is the second container, Istio proxy. So you need not write that in your deployment file. The admission controller will take care of all that thing. Now, what else do we need to see is how this thing shows up in the how the label thing works. Let me show you that. So yeah, so on this particular book application thing, I have enabled the Istio injection. And suppose if I like in default, the Istio injection is not enabled. So if I just deploy something, create deploy Nginx app, not able to remember the syntax. I'm just thinking it is this. So the Nginx app is created, and since this namespace didn't have Istio injection, it will not try to inject that particular container. So now let's just see how this thing looks like. So this is the basic page, product page. So whenever you have to enable external access, there are certain things which you need to take care of in Istio. So there are 2 particular Istio custom resources. First one is gateway. So this gateway is bound to our Istio ingress gateway. This is the main gateway, the main entry point, which will help you to get traffic inside the cluster. And this gateway is bound to this virtual gateway. This whole binding is present so that you can have one gateway for multiple different applications. And suppose this particular gateway responds to port number 80 on the ingress gateway, I can have some other gateway for port number 443 or any other port. So if one application responds to multiple protocols, then one gateway, then 2 multiple gateways can help us here. And furthermore, this virtual gateway is bound to this virtual service. I've named it book info. and all the patterns which you want to have for the ingress to work, that all that you'll write here, and in the destination you'll write the service name and the port to attach. So these two are kind of virtual constructs. These are CRDs present in Istio, and they do not introduce any sort of latency. These are like simple IP table rules. So even if you create multiple of them, they won't be hampering anything in your work. So my ingress gateway port 80 is bound to this particular port in node port service. So if I hit this, I'll get the product page up and running. So right now if you had seen my diagram of the service, so there are three versions of reviews. The first version doesn't have stars. The second two version have stars of different colors. So each time you reload it, it will give you a different service depending on whatever it's bound to have. It is completely random. It's not anything which we can control. Like we can, but I have not done it in anything over here. So if suppose I want to check how this thing particularly worked, I can check it using Istio Cuttle dashboard, and suppose Jaeger. This will help me see all the traces which were present. So this is the Jaeger UI. It is a distributed tracing framework which comes bundled with Istio over here. So I can just click on Istio Ingress Gateway, find traces in the last star. So it will show me that yes, the request came to Istio Ingress Gateway. It bound to product book application, product called details, and the product also called reviews called ratings. So all the traces you can see. You can also see the data. You can check whatever time it took. The complete information is available from here. So this is very helpful when we want to debug latency issues or anything. Similarly, you have a separate dashboard for visualizing the service map. So that is Kiali. This is one another good tool which I like, which helps me to see how my services are working, how they are connecting with one another, what the service graph looks like. So I'll just choose the book application on the graph option, and it will show me that okay, my services have this sort of architecture. Like this is the way it calls, and I can here display the traffic animation, and when I hit my service, it should show me the packets which are flowing. Let me just retry. Yes, so it turned green and it is showing that okay, it is going into V2 and then calling the rating service. So this is how this whole thing works, and Kiali and Jaeger are some tools which come along with it and can help us a lot when we want to debug certain scenarios. So as I explained about the virtual gateways, there are separate ingress gateways also, which we saw in the which are basically the main entry point. So the one which comes by default is the Istio Ingress Gateway. But suppose you want to have an application which should remain completely isolated, it should have its own entry point, its own external load balancer, then you can customize this whole thing as well. So Istio allows customization at a lot of levels. You can customize the whole profile so that you can have your own scenario of control plane. You can have your own egress gateways, ingress gateways. Everything is able we are able to have everything here. And right now I've not shown the customizations, but if you want to try them out and if you get stuck at any place, you can always reach out to me and ask questions. And for these are the references which were used, Istio docs and Envoy docs, so you can go through them for more information. So thank you. That's the end of the presentation. I hope you liked it.
Thank you, Prashansa.
You're welcome. Are there any questions?
Yeah, since you mentioned round robin style of balancing, which basically ignores the latency of each target. So how about using this smarter balancing according to the new response time? And maybe this is a feature of modern service mesh.
So this feature can also be applied to Istio service mesh. As I said, round robin is the default thing. You can always override it. And if you want to suppose make your own policy, like if you want to make your own routing policy, if you completely write the code for it and you want to apply that, that is also possible. So that form of customization is can be enabled using Envoy filters. You can write them on the go and deploy them on your cluster. And if you need any help from Envoy filter configuration, you can reach out to me. I can help with that too. And for this thing which you asked, if you want to check what all policies are available in Istio besides round robin, it is available in their docs. They have weighted round robin also. They have, I guess, uh, I'm not able to remember all. They have STF also. So yeah, you can check. Any other question?
Like with various mesh service mesh available today, like what are the highlighted features, how to choose them? I mean, there are many options and categories to choose from. So if you can highlight 1 or 2 points.
So basically, in order to answer this question, you should first know whether you need a service mesh or not. So if your architecture is highly complex and you need a lot of features with it, so yes, a service mesh can be helpful to you. And if you are tight on budget and you cannot go for any commercial features, yes, Istio is good to go. And if you have some sort of good to go budget and you want enterprise support also, so yes, you can go for HashiCorp Console. And for a detailed feature analysis, even I have not done that, but Istio provides a lot more features than all other present tools, because it was the first one to come into this domain. It is maintained by a good set of developers from Red Hat, Lyft, IBM, and Google, and they have good response time if you post any issue or query. Even I have done that myself. So when you want to choose a service mesh, just have your requirements ready as per your architecture, and then you can try out.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Prashansa, for walking us through various service measures and highlighting importance of each of them.
Yeah, thank you.